There's a really strong new Zehen build you've got to try that doesn't involve Trinity Force or Sundered Sky. Seraphine has an incredibly powerful yet underrated setup going around, and Misfortune is excelling with a really unique build. So all that and much more in today's video as we bring you guys 10 of the most OP new builds for patch 25.24. And with the season coming to a close, if you want to rank up the fastest, there's no better place to be than SkillCapped. First, start with any of our fundamental courses like Macro, Wave Control, and Trading to boost your general game knowledge. Then dive into our brand new Season 15 courses from Coach Rogue and Coach Chippy, along with our newly updated Jungle Clear course that covers the fastest clear for all the meta junglers in the game. And it doesn't stop there, as every single week we upload 10 brand new full game commentaries where our challenger experts teach you how to climb out of the exact rank you're stuck in. We're so confident in the quality of content we have to offer at SkillCapped that we don't hide away from anything and offer you a 5-division rank up guarantee. Climb at least 5 divisions while actively using SkillCapped or get your money back, no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below and get your rank climb accelerated today. So Riot's newest release already has a super strong yet underrated setup that's been popping up on him. Trinity Force with Sundered Sky is by far the most popular Zehen build right now, but this alternative setup revolves around a Black Cleaver rush into Overlord's Bloodmail second. Overlord's Bloodmail is pretty insane on Zehen because of its Retribution passive. This passive works so that you gain up to 12% increased AD based on your percent missing health. Since Zehen is able to stack more AD than all other bruisers because of his passive, 12% of that is actually insane. It's common for you to be able to reach over 500 AD in the mid game on 3 items, and if you do this, then 12% of that is equal to 60 AD. So you can gain upwards of 60 AD from that passive. But then there's the other passive on Overlords that gives you bonus AD based on your bonus health. The Tyranny passive converts 2.5% of your bonus health into AD, and on 3 items, you will have 1350 bonus health. 2.5% of that is equal to 34, so from the 2 passives on Overlords, you can get up to 94 additional AD on 3 items, which is absurd. Combine this with the flat 30 AD that you get from purchasing Overlords, and you're up to 124 AD from the item. So yeah, the potential of Overlords on Zehen is just absolutely ludicrous, and it's honestly surprising that this build is yet to catch on in a significant way. The complete core to run is a Black Cleaver rush into Overlord's Bloodmail second and Sundered Sky third, while Conqueror is your keystone rune. If you watched our solo carry video for 25.24, then you'd already have seen this build, but we want to feature it here as well because it's incredibly powerful right now, and it consists of Axiom Arc on Riven. So over the past 3 patches, Axiom Arc has really picked up traction on Riven, going from a non-existent play rate to now being really close to overtaking Eclipse as Riven's most popular rush item. So why Axiom Arc, you may ask? Well, the item is perfect to get the most out of Riven in solo queue. Riven is a champion who, with all her mobility, can force fights extremely well, and by going for Axiom Arc and getting that reduced cooldown on your R whenever you score a takedown, you just get more windows of opportunity to be max aggressive. By going Axiom Arc with Lucidity Boots, your R is going to be on as short of a cooldown as possible so that you can be extremely proactive. If you get ahead with Riven in the early game, then as long as you've got your R off cooldown, you're going to win duels the majority of the time, so Axiom Arc allows you to snowball incredibly hard. Here's what the core build is looking like as you rush Axiom Arc, go into Lucidity Boots second, and grab Sundered Sky third, while Conqueror is the best keystone rune. If you're looking to abuse top lane Swain this patch due to the fact he's been buffed for 2 patches in a row, then consider running this unique setup in specific situations. The build turns Swain into more of a tank than an AP bruiser, as you are rushing Frozen Heart into Leandria's second, and then Rylai's and Zanya's are to follow. So you'll still be a consistent damage threat in the mid to late game, but the durability that you'll have from Frozen Heart will be great to counter certain matchups. If you're playing Swain and the enemy locks in Aurelia, Fiora, Tryndamere, or Jax, basically any top lane champ who relies on auto-attacking to win out in skirmishes, that's where this Frozen Heart rush works amazing. The passive on Frozen Heart reduces the enemy's attack speed by 20%, and you're also gaining 75 armor, so it becomes really difficult for those auto-reliant champs to take you down. Frozen Heart is currently the highest win rate rush item on top lane Swain, so it's clear that if purchased in the correct spots that it provides a lot of value to him. There's just more margin for error as well, because if you're playing the more popular Blackfire Torch rush and going up against Aurelia or Jax, then they can just run you down and beat you in an extended trade, whereas with Frozen Heart, that becomes way more difficult for them to do. A really interesting build that's been going around a bit recently for top lane Sejuani that becomes stronger for this patch consists of a Rylai's Rush. Rylai's Rush has been played to some pretty good success on Sedge in recent patches, and with all the AP ratio buffs that she's getting for 25.24, it will become even stronger. Sejuani's Q, W, and E are all receiving AP ratio buffs, so it makes going for this AP bruiser style of Sejuani a lot more valuable. It's the 2-item core that really ties things together with this setup, as you're going for Winter's Approach. Winter's Approach will eventually transform into Fimbulwinter, and the passive on Fimbulwinter will give you a shield whenever you slow a target. So with this Rylai's Rush, all you've got to do is land your W1 on a target to proc the slow from Fimbulwinter, and because Q and E both provide crowd control, you get a ton of value out of Fimbulwinter being able to proc it off every single one of your abilities. So it's really a nice mix of durability and damage from this 2-item core that is giving Sejuani top lane a lot more viability. In terms of the rune page, you can run either Grasp or Conquer Comet, similar to what you do on top lane Malphite. Comet into ranged matchups, and then Grasp into melee is the general rule of thumb. So it turns out that of all the off-meta junglers who were buffed last patch, Jace is actually one of the better ones if you build him correctly. Most Jace jungle players are running with Conqueror for the Keystone rune, but he's performing infinitely better with First Strike. First Strike is just going to amplify the gank power of Jace and provide him with more early game snowball power. You're not really looking for those long drawn out fights to where Conqueror value shoots up because you're building full lethality on Jace, so by going for First Strike, it just provides better upfront damage, which is what you want with this setup. If Bruiser Jace is your thing, then by all means grab Conqueror, but the best build right now has him rushing Ghostblade into Opportunity second. Here's what the full rune page is looking like as you grab First Strike with Cashback, Triple Tonic, and Cosmic Insight, while Sudden Impact and Treasure Hunter are for secondaries. So it's just a max gold accrual rune page by opting into First Strike, Cashback, and Treasure Hunter so that you can snowball the hardest. Of course, Jace is a champion who needs to win early to mid game to be most effective as he falls off in later game fights, so it just makes so much sense as to why First Strike outperforms Conqueror. Another off-meta jungler has a unique setup that you have to try for 25.24, as Voltaic Cyclosword Aatrox is incredibly powerful. So with Aatrox jungle, his clear speed is really solid, clocking in at 3 minutes and 11 seconds if you clear optimally, and you can achieve this clear by watching the new clear guide we've got up on our website. By rushing Voltaic, you get the passive slow whenever you auto-attack an enemy, so it makes following up with your sweet spot Q damage a lot more reliable. It's just a really snowbally rush item in general, as you're getting the lethality, so whenever you're ganking in the earlier portions of the game, the burst coming out of Voltaic allows you to secure kills a lot easier. You'll be a little bit squishy on one item, but after Voltaic, you transition into bruiser items like Sundered Sky and Spear of Shojin, so in the mid game, you will be plenty durable. If you guys want a more extensive breakdown on Aatrox jungle and some quick tips before taking him into ranked, then check out the guide we uploaded on him last week, which we'll link in the top right-hand corner of the screen. The third off-meta jungler who's in a really powerful spot, especially for the lower elos in 25.24, is Malphite. A lot of Malphite jungle players are just building him suboptimally though, so here's how you want to play him. Although building Malphite full AP can give you that nice dopamine hit if you land your R on a carry and one-shot them in a fight, it's just not as consistently impactful as simply going tank. Malphite jungle players rushing Malignants are winning 48% of the time, as opposed to Sunfire Aegis players who are way up at 53%. Malphite's overall win rate would actually be so much better in the jungle if players just built him tank, because only 40% are actually going for Sunfire. It's not like tank Malphite is just going to deal no damage either, as you max your W first on jungle Malphite and take press the attack for the Keystone rune, so your consistent DPS in a skirmish is a lot better than you'd think. You don't have the same kind of one-shot burst as if you'd go for AP, but the extended fight power of tank Mal is infinitely better. So at the start of the video, we covered Axiomark on Riven, and another champ who's really strong but underrated with the item is Jarvan. So Jarvan jungle is actually finding a ton of success lately by going for a more offensive lethality core. It's a Profane Hydra rush into Axiomark second that is working the best right now. So why Axiomark then? Why not Opportunity or Eclipse? In order for Jarvan to one-shot squishies in the mid-game, he needs his ultimate available. A simple EQ combo is not enough to get the job done, so having your R up as often as possible is really key to make this assassin style of Jarvan viable. So because Axiomark is going to offer up that cooldown refund whenever you score a takedown, you'll be able to relentlessly look for aggressive plays and not have to sit around waiting for your R to come back up. There's one more champion who's really good with Axiomark for 25.24, and it's a bot lane carry being Miss Fortune. The majority of Miss Fortune players like to rush Ghostblade when playing lethality MF, and it's not terrible by any means, but prioritizing Axiomark just makes way more sense. Miss Fortune is one of, if not the most R-reliant ADC in the game. MF with R is a completely different champion in a team fight, so the value from Axiomark is just incredible honor. The standard Ghostblade into the Collector core offers up no ability haste at all, while you get the 20 haste combined with the on takedown cooldown reduction for your R from Axiomark. So this is the core build you should try on Miss Fortune for this patch, as it's an Axiom rush into the Collector second and Lord Dom's third. You also want to make sure you're grabbing the correct rune page, as First Strike is really powerful for MF right now. Cashback and Triple Tonic were just buffed, so it makes going for Inspiration Primary a lot better. One of the strongest and most underrated builds of the entire patch is the final one we'll cover in this video, and it's for Seraphine support. Right now, what's most popular on Seraphine is taking Dreammaker for the item upgrade and going for Redemption into Moonstone. You're still going to grab Redemption with this new setup, but instead of Dreammaker, you're taking Solstice Slay, and instead of Moonstone, you're picking up Dawn Core. This build is becoming a lot more popular among high elo Seraphine players with a W max first strategy. The whole idea behind the build is to provide as much of an amp to your heal and shield power as possible. You get a 10% heal and shield boost from Redemption, while Dawn Core provides an incredible 16% boost. So by maxing your W out first, the shield that you'll be getting from the spell in the mid game on this 2-item core will be absolutely insane. Of course, Solstice Slay is going to provide you with the heal as well, so that's why you prioritize the upgrade over Dreammaker when running this setup. For the rune page with this build, it's going to be Airy for the Keystone and then Resolve for secondaries. Alright guys, one last thing, our rank up guarantee is insane. It's like signing up for the gym and getting a refund if you don't get ripped. That's how confident we are in SkillCapped. We obsess over making the best guides with top players players, rigorous testing, and top-tier video editing to make your climb easy. If you're ready to level up, visit SkillCapped.com and see the difference. So there you have it, everyone. Those are 10 of the most OP new builds that are going around for 25.24. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.